Okay.
Hey. All right. Awesome. We're setting up VS Code Live Share, but thank you for joining us. We're gonna get this all set up real quick. Um, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Let's try this. Opening VS Code Live Share. Please work. Hey. Okay. Cool. It worked.
All
The old,
right.
the old turn it off and turn it on again trick.
Nice.
That'll do it.
Hey, there you are. Okay. Make read write. Make read write. Hello. Okay. 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 All right. So we are back. I guess first things first, maybe a slight introduction. I think the background music's a bit loud. It looks like it's loud.
Okay.
Just turned it down some. Let me know if the music is too loud, folks, because it seems like it might be too loud. All right. Yeah. So quick intro. Kurt Kemple. You can find me on Twitter too as Kurt Kemple, and I have with me Trevor Blades, who you can actually find on Twitter as Trevor Blades too, right?
Wow. Matching.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah, so what this is Launchpad. This is a series of streams where we build apps, and currently we are building a Gatsby and serverless GraphQL app called Journey that will be used for helping with job searches, right? So like just to organize and because I know when I apply for jobs, I hate like trying to track where everything is. I've used things like Airtable and stuff before, but this is like specifically for this. So yeah, the goal is to make it easier to track your job listings.
Hmm.
Should I guess go over real quick like where we're at, what we've done so far?
Yeah. Let's recap
Quick,
kind of
quick,
what the last two episodes have
yeah,
comprised.
a little update-a-roo, right?
Hmm.
When you see box, yeah, that's chakra, right? Yeah, we
Yes.
learned all about that.
The box
That
king.
yeah.
What's up, Dom?
If
By the way, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday to you, sir. That was very recent, right? Like this week or the end of last week? It's like a couple days ago, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, so okay, recap. What we have done is set up the most minimal Gatsby project that we can, which Trevor showed us like how little code you actually need to get running with Gatsby. We added Chakra for styling so that we could style on the move, right? Style fast. Um, and then, yeah, we set up Apollo clients and then we connected that to an API to test it. And then we created our own API that we are currently using Netlify functions for, but we haven't even deployed it. We've just been using like local dev, right? Like the
Hmm.
Netlify dev stuff. So, of all those things that I just covered, those will be like available on YouTube as well. Like, if you don't want to watch all the full streams are there. So, if you've missed them, you can go watch them. But most of these things are broken out into little quick tips too, like setting up Chakra and Gatsby, setting up Apollo Client and Gatsby, all that stuff. So, yeah, check those out too if you have not seen them. Yeah, and I think that kind of catches us up to where we were, which we said we were going to add some authentication and some storage, right?
Hmm.
I like this. I like that. And that's as far as we've gotten with it. We just said that we were going to do that. And we did talk about like a couple options. And I think we decided that we are just going to set up like username password type of straight up authentication for now, correct?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's probably a straightforward thing to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can get going with that right away. But before we jump into that, I guess we can spend a little bit of time thinking about we have a few options available to us in terms of like how we want to structure our like auth to API relationship.
Okay.
So I'll run through two opposite options that come to mind immediately, and if there's other things that I missed, maybe you can add those to the table too, and then we can discuss and choose a path forward and go with it. So option one is within our GraphQL API, we expose like a login route or an auth, not route, they're called fields, like a login or an auth mutation that we send a username and password to, and then we get back like a JSON web token. And then in all subsequent requests, we supply that JSON web token as a header, and that's sort of what we use to prove to our GraphQL API that we are authenticated.
Okay.
So the implication there, though, is that the login mutation is not protected by
Right.
any kind of auth logic, but other routes like listing out your jobs or listing out other things that the user has saved, those are all protected fields.
Yeah.
And
That sounds
um,
reasonable.
so that's one way. The other way to do it is we could set up a simple like an auth serverless function that we can just send a post request or a get request to a serverless function
Mm-hmm.
with like a basic auth header. So we encode the username and password, base64 encode it, send it as like an authentication header to our auth endpoint. The auth endpoint then just sends us back a JWT as the body
Okay.
of the
Right.
response, and then we supply that JWT to all the GraphQL calls that we make. And the implication of that is that instead of us like picking and choosing on the GraphQL side which fields and which mutations should be protected, we can just say the entire GraphQL API is auth only. So what we do is in like the context setting part of our API, we can either accept or deny requests at that stage rather than having that logic
Go
be
any
part of the
further
fields. Yeah.
right into the execution path. Right. So we could just stop everyone right at the gate and say, "Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, the question that we have to ask ourselves there is, um, would that work for Journey? Like, would Journey have any non-authenticated fields other than authentication?
This is a good question. And so I think in like within the scope of what we're trying to accomplish, I don't see why you wouldn't be authenticated to access anything. It's meant to be kind of like, scoped off to the individual user. Only you are going to see the listings that you have saved. I guess it would be interesting to be able to share them at some point or something, if you wanted to, but I don't think that that is a requirement now. I think right now the goal is just for one person to be able to use this for themselves.
Hmm. Yeah, before we go any further into the deliberation, I also did want to raise that we were also at the end of last week's episode we were talking about using a library that you published
Yeah.
that
Oh
is
yeah.
essentially serves as like auth middleware for GraphQL fields. And maybe you can talk a little bit about that, and we can factor that into our decision making.
Um, Yeah, so essentially, this is for the route that, for the, I guess this would be the former. And so what I mean by that is if we expect a server to have both like secure and unsecure endpoints, like or GraphQL like fields, part of it. Essentially, this is a higher order component or higher order function that you wrap around your resolvers, and it allows you to authenticate them pretty easily. So at its base, saying with auth means that it has to like meet the contract, which is having like a user attached to the context. Um, all right, so is authenticated. So as long as this is true, then with auth would work, but it also supports authorization, not just authentication, meaning it has support for scopes. And so this gets, important, not so much in our case, but in cases where you might have certain levels of responsibility within an application and like an admin or like you only want the author of certain, of their own blog posts to be able to edit their own blog posts. these are like the type of things where you would want some sort of authorization, and this one uses scope-based authorization, which is a pretty common pattern. Um, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
So that's another kind of like useful tool to add to
yeah.
the mix. But I guess at like a very at the ground level, we have to sort of answer that question um, of yeah, do we expect to yeah, thanks for
Yes.
linking that. Do we expect
Yeah.
to have protected and unprotected fields?
And
Um,
this is the question, right? And I think that right now, we we aren't going to have any unprotected fields.
okay,
And so I think it makes the most sense to do the serverless function, kind of create the JWT, and then give that to the app,
sweet. I
right?
think that's yeah, I agree. I think that's a pretty solid path forward, and it
Yeah,
like really clearly separates our concerns there. So we can say that the GraphQL API doesn't have to worry about actually authenticating users, or sorry, like issuing tokens or any of that stuff. And and we can um, add our like auth checking logic as a bottleneck to the entire server rather than
yeah,
doing it on a field by field basis.
which is nice and preferable. I think, yeah, there's, if, as long as the use case supports that, that's way better than trying to manage it at the field level. That
Mhm.
gets more and more difficult as your schema gets larger and larger too. So,
Yeah. All right. Cool.
yeah, yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I guess. So the next step is like in order to authenticate users, and we have to be able to create users and like store users and store passwords. And so we need a place to do that. So I was considering Render because they have support for Postgres databases that you
Mm,
can just spin up.
we like that.
Yeah, I like this. So it's a hosted Postgres, and I was thinking, so it has internal, external connectivity, right? So like we could even just work with this locally. We could probably set up a testing. The other thing we could do too is just like run Postgres locally for a while inside of um, like Docker container. But I think because we're already using a serverless function for our GraphQL API, we might as well just set up a database and connect to it, right?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
All right,
Let's check out render.
yeah, I don't know what's going to happen when I create this database, so let's just do this.
Hmm.
Okay, so downgrading plans. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So this is our current plan, which is plenty. We don't need like a ton of storage right now. So yeah, I guess I do this, and then I hit create database. Oh wait, am I in the right? Yes, cool. All right,
Make sure we're in the
create.
right login.
Yeah. I just actually tweeted about that today. The hardest part of DevRel is making sure that you are logged in to like correctly, like to the
Yeah.
right services. All right. Name. We need a name for this database actually. And we're gonna call this um we'll call this Journey Dev. I should look at this and see if they want like friendly name. So friendly name. Yeah, we'll
Sure.
call it Journey Dev, right? Because like we're devin.
Sure.
This will be generated and this will be generated. I think that's fine.
Hmm.
Oh, cool. Look at that.
Wow, that was quick. All right,
Yeah,
so
this.
we've got. I think that the internal connection string is the thing that we're going to want to use.
Yeah.
This is just me
No, you're
uh,
right. Yeah.
guessing here,
It's
but
going to be all this. This is what we're going to need.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, cool. And do you have like in working with Postgres in Node, do you have any kind of like libraries or like ORM that you
That I
prefer using?
prefer. I've used Bookshelf. I've used Nex. I've used, which is like Bookshelf is built on Nex, I believe, or connects. Either one of those are fine, but I haven't used one in a while. I'm like open to if there's something else that's newer or otherwise, I'm down for whatever. We can also go take a look at the interwebs and see like what the new hotness is.
Let's see. Yeah, let's take a look on the internet and see what people are using in 2020.
Yeah, if you are with us on the stream, what are you using?
Yeah,
Um,
please let us know. We could use all the help we can get.
oh, Sequelize. I've used Sequelize a lot before too.
Yeah, me too. I've used Sequelize the most. I've never used Connects,
Yeah.
um, but I've always
So
had a nice time with Sequelize.
yeah, so we got Sequelize. I'm just opening up things that are just oh, someone did an ORM overview.
Nice. Let's check it out.
Yeah, let's check that out. And then
And of
oh,
course, there's the obligatory. You should not be using an ORM. You should be writing SQL queries by hand and executing them via curl commands.
where do you see that?
I don't know. I'm
That's
just
so.
saying, like
Oh yeah.
in the discussion of ORMs, there's always that point of
Oh
view as
yeah.
well.
Oh, absolutely. This is very true. So this is type ORM, which I guess is like based
Oh,
off TypeScript,
wow, freaky.
both data mapper and active record. I don't even know what those are.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure,
mean,
dude.
isn't active record for like um that's Ruby, right? That's Rails, active record? That's
I
from
don't know.
Rails. Yeah.
I did a Rails tutorial at the beginning of my programming journey, and I forget about it all uh, completely.
I worked with Rails for a while, and I'm pretty sure that's called active record. Either that or maybe that's the C sharp one, like the .NET
All right.
one. Okay. But either way, we could choose if we wanted to. It supports everything that we do, but I'm kind of curious, like, how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should we do getting started just to check it out?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see like let's do getting started
Yeah.
after that.
And
Yeah.
so active record is Rails. Thank you. Thank you, Dom. Appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, this is the getting started. Ha!
All right, let's scroll down, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see some code here.
Some codes. Yeah, I want to see some codes.
Oh, what?
Did Rails in his boot camp. He hasn't used it either. I used Rails at a job for a while. I liked it. I was really interested in Crystal for a while, which was supposed to give you the speed of Go, but like the syntax of Ruby. That looked interesting. All right. Either way, sorry. What do we think about this? Oh, are they using? That's interesting.
What
They're
strange
using
syntax is
decorators.
this?
This is decorators.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
like,
I'm already
yeah,
kind of not digging it.
yep, yep. Cheryl. We'll save Sequelize. We've both used it and liked it, so I'm curious to see like what else. Like we can always know we can go Sequelize if that's what we
Yes.
want. Um, with ORM, of course.
So we got
Oh,
oh, maybe go back.
oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I'll go back, but I think they're using something called PG, so that's how they're gonna connect.
Yeah, that's like the Node Postgres client. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
what if we use Sequelize, we're gonna have PG
That's
installed
exactly
behind the
what
scenes
they're
as well.
doing. Yeah, so they're using Sequelize here as well.
If you go back to the last page, they did have a little list here, list of ORMs.
Oh,
Sequelize, type ORM.
objection. Not
Um,
a lot of. I figured there would be more, if I'm being honest.
yeah,
I thought there was going to be like a
let's
whole
check out.
plethora.
Never heard of it, but they have 65K downloads. All right.
All right, let's take a look. Let's see what it does. What it do.
Yeah, I want to see what the code looks like here.
So it's built on Connects, um,
Interesting.
Query Builder. Okay. I mean, looks pretty standard.
Hmm. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe considering we've both used Sequelize before,
Mm-hmm.
all these other two options. I mean, one seems like they're using a lot of syntactic sugar that uh, I'd personally like to avoid. The other
Yeah.
one is looks more normal, but it would still be kind of like a learning curve to figuring out the API. Um, and you've used Bookshelf, so I'd be open to using that one as well.
I'm just
Just
looking and
that
checking.
given somebody knows,
Yeah,
but
it's been a while. It's been a while. So I'm not sure. Let's do Sequelize because we've both used it. It's been a while. And so I don't want to be like, at least two of us can figure our way around Sequelize. But if it's Bookshelf, I'm on my own here. So
sure.
let's do it. I like it. But I did just
Let's
want to
do it.
see what's out and about, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God, I've already used 8% of my storage. I haven't even done anything. I'm
All
sure
right.
that's just all the info about our database. All right, so
Hmm.
what's our next step? I don't want to dump the password and connection string. So let's just set up. We'll rough out what we need, and then I'll like take it off screen, put it all in an M file, so that we're like good to go. Does that make sense? Once we
Yes.
define, we get the code in. Okay, so to SQLize we go.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay, well that part's pretty easy. So let's take care of that first. And wait. We're using a serverless function. So I
Yes.
can't just be like installing this all willy-nilly into the root, right? Like that can't be how this works.
You can do that actually. Yeah.
What?
Um,
Okay.
yeah. Well, we have two options, and it comes down to like how we, if we have any preferences for how we want to organize our code. It
Let's take a look.
doesn't hurt to put this stuff into the root package JSON, and then all of those dependencies are available to. There's somebody outside my house like building a garden in their backyard, and so I just hear them hammering away. Um,
I don't hear it. I don't
oh,
hear any hammering.
uh, yeah. So we can have like node modules relative to our serverless functions as well,
Right.
but then it implies some changes to the directory structure that we have. So what we
Got
then
it.
have is within our functions directory, we'd have other subdirectories like a GraphQL directory with a GraphQL JS function and
Uh-huh.
its own package JSON, and then similarly like the same kind of pattern for all of our other functions. And then in in our root package JSON, we basically have to uh, add some script like maybe like a post install script
To
that
copy.
that runs npm install in each of our functions as well,
Right.
because those dependencies don't get installed automatically
Right.
by Netlify. However, if we add all of our serverless dependencies to our regular package JSON, those are all going to be available to us in our Netlify functions automatically. And we've kind of already done that,
Huh.
right? Like we have Apollo Server Lambda here
I didn't even realize. Yeah, we did that at the root. Yeah.
alongside our Apollo client.
Huh.
If we have anything else, I think that's really all that we have going in here. But yeah, so that doesn't hurt, especially if we have a low amount um, of like backend dependencies. Like we're going to be running Apollo
Mm-hmm.
Server Lambda. We're going to work with Sequelize, PG. We're going to have bcrypt for password hashing
Yep.
and
Ooh, I
checking.
should actually just add that, right? Shouldn't I just add that now? Or is
Well,
that
yeah.
included now?
Uh, Here, yeah. Well, let me just see. I think we have to do bcrypt hyphen JS. Let's
Yeah.
think about maybe it's bcrypt JS all one word. Let me double check.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
And
is.
maybe drop a link into the Stream
Okay.
if you find it. Yeah. And why is my AC not shutting off? Yeah, it's getting cold up in here. Oh,
uh,
because I'm changing the wrong one like a silly person. Okay.
okay, let me just double check exactly what we need here. Do. So yeah, bcrypt.js is the one that
Cool.
I've used. I forget
Yeah, me
more
too.
about the regular bcrypt,
I
but
think.
in any case, bcrypt.js has like 200,000 more downloads, and it's
Oh, I spelt it wrong. Is it? Is there no dash?
no, it's no dash. Bcrypt.js, all one word.
Oops.
And you can also let's just go over to Sequelize docs
All right.
and see what the deal is with the PG.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The PG situation here. So are we looking at the most recent?
I don't
Uh,
know. Let me go back real quick. I guess 6 beta? What did we just install?
Good question. Let's check.
Yeah.
We're on 5.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the docs. Okay. Um, this is interesting. So getting
So
started. That's
why don't you
probably
click on
where we are. Here we
dialect?
go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Is this what we wanted? This is what we wanted, right?
Yep. So we're gonna need PG and PGH store, I guess.
Cool. And then setting up a connection. Yep, makes sense. So passing a connection URI. Oh, cool. Which is what we can probably just pass from here, right? Is this our connection string?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. So that's going to be easy. So we don't even have to do all this stuff. We just get
Yeah.
to do this part. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take VS Code off screen, add
Mm-hmm.
that to our. Oh, wait. How do you get environment variables?
Aha. So since we're using Netlify Dev to
Mm-hmm.
run our site, because we need to use Netlify Dev to run our GraphQL or well our serverless functions in development in general. One of the features of Netlify Dev is that it will pull environment variables from your Netlify site. So what we can do is we can create a new Netlify site for this project, add our environment variables in there, off screen, of course,
Interesting.
connect our local development environment to our Netlify deployment, and then
Okay.
every time we run Netlify Dev, it'll pull in those environment variables and inject them into the build.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess we should do that. So what I'm gonna do is go to Netlify.
Dom, what kind of Netlify Dev stuff are you running into it?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that too. Yeah.
I've been using it for quite a while now, so I might be able to give you some.
Okay. So how do I do this? How do I create a new site?
Should we do it on your team or on Apollo?
Oh, I guess probably on the Apollo team, right?
Mm,
I mean, I think we could do it here for now.
okay, yeah. So just go hit the green button on the right.
Oh, new
New
site
site
from
from
Git?
Git. Yeah,
Oh, right, and we'll just connect the repo that I have.
yeah.
Oh, I think I have like only specific repos available.
Oh,
Ba-boom. Hmm. All right, momentarily, I'll be back. Dun, 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 dun.
okay. Yeah. So Dom, it will spit out two or more endpoints. It will, first of all, it'll host your serverless functions at a particular port, like localhost port 34567. It'll run your like local client code at, let's say for a Gatsby site, it's localhost port 8000. And the third thing that it spits out is like a port, like a third port that kind of combines the two. So it will proxy port 34567, your Lambda function, to a specific path, namely .netlify/functions on port 8888. And then it'll serve up your client code at the same port as well. So the implication of that is you get to run your you get to send requests to just /.netlify/functions/your function name, which is the same behavior as you'd get in production on a Netlify deployment. So that's the really, really handy part, is that the URL that you send your requests to locally will be the same as the URL that you send your request to in production. And because it's running off of the same origin, it's just at a specific path on your site, you don't have to worry about any kind of CORS issues there, because you're sending requests from your origin to just another path on your origin. So that's kind of the idea behind Netlify Dev is you have your Lambda stuff running at one port, your Gatsby stuff running at another port, and then a third port that mashes them both together. And yeah, in my experience, that port has been 8888, but in your Netlify Dev command line output, it should give you some indication of what port number that is. And we can show you once we get this up and running. I'll point it out in our terminal output. It usually appears in like a box. Yeah, I'll show you in a sec.
Okay.
All right, so this is our Journey v2. And do you have the environment variables set up already?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, so now I guess we can go back to VS Code.
Go back to VS Code. And
all right.
Before we run Netlify Dev, let's run Netlify init.
Yes, and why is this file changed? What did we change? Oh, that's right. You were like just typing hello. Okay.
Netlify init. Might ask you to log in. Oh, okay. So it should open that up on your computer. Beautiful. I love how it didn't open on mine. And now, now that that's been granted, we can go back to VS Code, and yeah, it'll give us a series of prompts. So first one, we want to connect this directory to an existing Netlify site, and yeah, let's find a site based on the existing Git repo.
That was easy.
And that's it.
Cool. And there's our site URL, Journey v2.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So now, if you run Netlify Dev, you'll see some output here. It'll first thing it'll say is injected build setting envvar db connection string.
Ooh, let me go back up. I missed that.
Yeah, blink it.
Oh,
blink
there it was. Oh, geez, Louise.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And yeah, Dom, now the part that I was mentioning just a moment ago is this little box. If Kurt, you could just scroll up to see the server now ready on message there. That's the important part for Netlify Dev.
Right here, right?
Yep. That is the one
we're running, which it already opened up for us, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Nice.
Great. So, yeah, now we have environment variables being injected into our build. and we can
Okay.
start using them in our GraphQL function.
So like, I mean, we've got this going here. How organized do we want to get? Do we just want to like YOLO right into just drop sequelize in here for now? Or
Well,
do we want to put it somewhere
yeah,
nice?
we could. So, well, the thought that comes to mind first of all is maybe we can establish our sequelize connection in the auth handler, or our auth
Oh,
lambda
in
function.
context? Like, oh
Mm,
yeah, that's right. We're gonna have a whole separate function. Right.
yeah, if you're cool with that, like
Yeah, no, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, this is our GraphQL server, and then we're gonna have a separate function that handles creating the web token that we'll then use here, which will
yeah,
then change when we start up the server. We'll add a context function here, and then
yeah,
we'll do an auth check. Right? Is that
I think that
all right?
sounds great.
So then we got to make a new file called auth.
Yep, call
All
it
right.
auth.js.
And then we want to export a handler.
Yep, we're gonna export a handler, and for now, let's just create like a hello world handler. We can say, exports.handler. I'm gonna move over to this file on my screen. We can just make it a function that returns an object, and the object can have a status code of 200 and a body of hello world. All right, now let's just open that up in our browser. What we can do is once this Netlify dev is finished loading, I assume it's done. At our port /.netlify function, netlify /functions /auth function not found. Interesting. Maybe we have to restart our
Oh
Netlify
yeah,
dev.
it looks that way. That's okay. All right, so poop.
Okay. Let's see if that
Netlify
works.
dev.
You're building some Cloudinary hooks for uploads and
Yeah, isn't
fetch.
that cool?
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
What kind of hooks are we talking about here? All right. I just noticed that our auth function now replies hello world, so that's cool. We have it up and running.
Okay, so that's very cool. Real quick, Dom, I need to talk to you at some point because I want to set up auto generation of social media images for tweets for like when we're going to stream, and I think Cloudinary would make a lot of sense for that, but I have no idea how to do that. So if you want to help me with that, that would be amazing. We could stream it. Let me know. Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So let's see. Oh yeah, what are we doing now? Oh wait, we're gonna set this up. We're gonna do. Right. So now the question is, do we want to do this outside of the handler?
Yeah, let's think about this. I think that
we can't use import either, right?
one sec.
Let me stop doing this. Let me jump back here and see what they do.
So we can create a handler. The way that we can do this is, yeah, you can say like const sequelize equals sequelize, and we create a new instance of sequelize. So we can say like const lowercase sequelize or
Right.
whatever we want to call it.
My question was, do we want to do that outside of the handler, right? Because then it'll stay like hot cached as long as the function is up, right?
Yeah, I don't really know how that would work honestly, or like what the performance implications of that would be, but for now, what we can do is just in here you just pass
Ah,
process.env dot db connection string.
yeah,
I
there
think
it
that's what we
is.
called it, right?
Yeah, yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so now we
Okay,
got sequelize. So now what do we want
nice.
to do?
Let's hop back to the sequelize docs.
Okay. I like that. Hang on, I'm just gonna.
Oh, cool, Dom. So like hooks as in React hooks. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so actually I think in this one scenario, that actually won't work for me, Dom, only because I'm doing this through Zapier, so I need to create like a URL. So that's gonna be the tricky part.
Ah,
I think that's gonna be the difference. But I am still very interested in the React part of that for you. Oh, easy? Perfect. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. All right, sequelize docs. Yeah. All right,
hiya.
so we got a connection. Um, so we have to call authenticate.
All right.
Let's test it.
So why don't we do that? So
Oops.
authenticate is an asynchronous function.
Yeah.
That being the case, we have to adapt our Lambda function. Right now, our Lambda function is synchronous, but yeah, I think let's just double check here. Netlify Lambda async. I'm just searching on my computer here. Async. Ba, ba, ba. I think that there was something that you have to do differently to make it work with async stuff. Let me just double check here. Do, do, do. Hmm. Yeah, I like that.
What do you like?
Oh no, I like what you've got there.
Oh, sorry. Cool. Yes. Right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Is that a 400? 403? 400 is fine for now. Okay. How's that look?
Yeah, looks great. Let's check it out
In the browser, right?
in our browser. Yes.
Boop. Oh no. But we need the message. That's what amateur hour. I would like to know why we are not connected.
Right.
Oops.
Okay. I know that I've done this kind of thing before. I just want to
Yeah.
figure out what I was doing. All
Okay,
right.
adder
I
info
think
not found. Huh. Which,
okay.
are we sure we want the internal connection string? Should I try the external?
Yeah, try the external connection string.
I'm just gonna try it. YOLO.
I mean, I think that I don't know exactly what either of them mean, but this what we're doing seems pretty external from our database. So
I,
I would
I
I
would
would think
agree,
that would,
but I'm just gonna try.
yeah. I'm gonna have a sip of water while you try.
Alrighty. Okay, so that is saved. So I've saved it, but now I'm still gonna restart this so that we get our new environment variable.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I also had a sip of my beverage. I have run out of. I
Great.
drink this stuff called C4 on the go, and I've run
Okay.
out. So now what I've done is I just mix a little bit of pre-workout into like some amino acids, watery stuff to try and recreate it. But I'm feeding it
Okay.
hard. Yeah, it's not working. It's not
What
cutting
is
it.
C4? Like what is the
C4 on
purpose
the
of it?
go. Oh, it's like a pre-workout energy drink. It's amazing. It's this stuff.
Mm.
I don't even know what site I just clicked on. Oh, GNC. Okay. Yeah, explosive energy. Raw. It's basically like G Fuel
Cool.
for CrossFitters. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but I drink it like when I like in place of like coffee or something because it has caffeine and it has beta alanine,
All
so it
right.
like makes you tingle, like
Sounds
you
good.
get tingles. Yeah,
Oh, is that a good thing? Is that
it
what we
is.
should be
Yeah,
optimizing
yeah,
for?
yeah. It's yes because it just means that so like I do actually work out a lot too, but it helps you prevent like your lactic acid threshold. It helps your body uh, um, get rid of lactic acid. So
Got you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Right on.
yeah. So
All
yeah.
right, so we've got our new.
Oh right, we gotta try this.
So now we're seeing SSL/TLS is required.
Oh, huh.
Um, let's
Well,
see. Sequelize SSL. Does that mean that we have to be connecting from SSL?
that's a very good question. I would
Huh.
imagine, but maybe we can like choose not to be.
Can we see what other availables or what other options are available to us from render?
Well, we've got a lot of stuff.
Just reading this. PSQL command, got a password, internal database.
So this
Connecting
is
from
what we want.
outside the cluster. That is what we want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just search on Google like render connecting from outside the cluster. We might be able to. Or I have an idea. What about like render postgres sequelize? That's what I'm
That's
searching on my.
exactly, yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Um, the word render is pretty like
Yeah,
disambiguous.
I'm gonna see if Render
What is it?
has like
Render.io?
docs. Like they have their
Yeah,
own docs, right?
I
Uh,
like that idea.
yeah, whatever. Express, I don't care. I want database, 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 databases.
Um, wow, they do so much stuff, man. It's crazy. Okay, connecting to your database. All right, so this first section is
Well,
connecting from
yeah,
apps on render.
here we go.
That's not exactly what we're doing. We're doing from outside render. Yeah. All right.
Huh. So yeah, this is what I have. Like this is what I've copied into our function. So let me
Yeah.
Google this.
The error.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. I got nothing. Host, port, sure. Protocol? No.
Uh, I'm just reading some stuff on my end as
Yeah,
well.
same here. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure this out. Going through the docs. MySQL, MariaDB, Postgres. Wow. Maybe we have to tell it that it's Postgres. Would that matter?
We could try that.
Yeah,
It
because
would
I
it
don't
would
think we
get
specify. Yeah.
it would interpret that from the like your DB connection string would say Postgres colon slash slash.
Right.
Maybe you can check in your Netlify thing just to verify that.
Yes. Yeah. So it has. Yeah, it definitely has that Postgres dot slash slash, and then it has my username, and then like all that stuff it's supposed to.
Okay, here's a comment. I'm just gonna paste this in chat.
All right.
Maybe you can pick that up. Okay, so this person says they ran into a problem connecting to a Heroku DB from outside Heroku, therefore requiring SSL. We had to change our connection parameters to tell SQLize to use native Postgres bindings and turn SSL on.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's worth a try.
However, we're not using like an object
Yeah.
of connection options. We're just using the connection string. So let's see. Okay, we can use our connection string, and then as a second option
That's what I
to
figured. Yeah.
the
Okay.
constructor, we can pass SSL true.
Okay. So let's try that.
Mhm.
Should I also try native or just SSL true?
Let's just try SSL true for now. Let's go with the minimum
Yeah, I
amount
like
of
that.
extra stuff and
Same
see what we
error.
have to do. Same error, huh?
Yeah.
All right. What if we say native true as well?
We're gonna find out.
Oh.
What?
Okay. I have another potential fix.
Ooh.
I'm pasting in chat.
Cannot read property client of null.
Great. All right. So let's go back to the code. Actually, here I'm gonna type. I forgot that I can type here.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna change the dialect as well and all
Yeah.
that.
So check out that. What they do is they specify a dialect and then they
Yeah,
specify dialect options. So we'll say
I love it.
dialect Postgres and dialect options is
SSL true.
SSL true. Oh, this is that weird copy paste thing that was
Oh yeah, that was
happening.
weird.
So judging by the amount of reactions to that, I'm pretty hopeful, but let's just see what happens.
Took longer. Oh, database connected.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're in this, guys. We're back in this. Now, before we proceed though, what I'm just
Before we
curious to
proceed.
do
Yes.
is what happens if I remove the dialect option? I like to get by with the minimum amount of.
Minimal.
If we
I
don't
love it.
need dialect option, then
Is it
let's
gone?
not.
Oh, do I have to save
It's
it?
gone.
Let's see. Okay, it's
Maybe.
gone.
And it seems like it still works. And
Yeah.
this is kind of what I was getting at is that our connection string specifies Postgres, so
Right.
we don't need to be redundant there. We can
Yeah.
rely on our connection string doing the work for us there. All right, so now we're connected.
Very cool.
Great. Now we can. I guess we can. Um, How do we want to proceed? We can just like create. Well, we're gonna want to create some tables, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we need the tables. They just have to exist, right?
So what we can do there is we don't need to create tables after authenticating. We can actually do something like this. Let me just try to remember exactly how this works. So I'm going to pop open the SQLize
Yeah.
docs again.
I think, and if you find it, drop me a link so we can follow along. But I'm pretty sure that you can do like the create or update table, right? Isn't that?
SQLize. Yeah, I think it's like I thought it was SQLize.define, but I think it might be different now in version 5.
Model definition. So
Mhm.
click on that. So, oh, it looks like you extend the model. There's a class. called model. You extend it and then you init it.
Okay.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Okay.
Shall we just try to do that?
I mean, we could just try it, like YOLO.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. So I'm actually just going to copy this one, and then we'll change what we
All right. Where do we import model from? Do you think is that just
It comes from SQLize. I saw that in the doc somewhere else. Yeah, so it's just like that.
like this? Okay.
Yep.
Copy paste doesn't work, so let's try class.
Oh, I got it. I got it on my clipboard if you want.
Yeah, why don't you throw it in there?
Boom.
Great. And then we'll just call this user.
Love
extends model. The user will have email and password.
Yep.
And they're both going to be strings.
Yeah. Do they have a special enum type for password, I wonder? For like different types of encrypted passwords?
I don't think so.
Oh, well. Yeah, who cares?
That's kind of. And then the model name is going to be
user.
And I'm waiting for Prettier to format my code. Maybe you have to hit save.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is formatted.
Oh, okay. What about this?
Oh, that's weird. Oh,
Hit
what's
save?
wrong? Problems. Oh, those are TypeScript, though. That's weird. What is it? Prettier gone? What happened to Prettier?
Where'd you go, Prettier?
That's weird. Let me test something here.
Okay. Sometimes VS Code be working weird.
All right, so let me do this. Boop. This is not fixing.
Oh man.
Is something broken?
Prettier's taking a break.
Well, see, that says like, oh, this is incorrect, so that's working. I am not sure why we're not getting Prettier in this file.
I don't know. Maybe open and close it again.
But it like is kind of working. So like, watch when I. Oh no, that's trim white space. That's not Prettier.
All right. Well, whatever. This should work. It should create our user table for us. And then in here, what we can do
it is
is
broken.
It is broken. Hey.
That was weird. Oh, I think like with your copy, something weird happened.
Yes. Man, okay. I'm telling you that copy paste stuff is really funky.
But this still is not fixing.
Is there other copy paste artifacts that are?
No, this is the whole file now.
All right.
Yeah. What have we done?
I don't know. Normally, like it should be adding a little.
A
comma after there, you know?
Yep. All right. I think we just broke it.
Yeah, we broke it all right. Maybe try closing it and opening the file again. What do you think?
Yeah, now that it's fixed. Yeah.
On your end?
No, nothing. Oh, Prettier. Here, let's see what this says. Oh. Unexpected token. I don't think we can do this.
Oh, right. This is not ES modules.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna have to say extends SQLize.model, I guess.
Yeah, but their docs show it. Oh, right, because we're just doing the docs showed the import statement. Okay. So now
we save. And
oh, there we go. It's back.
Whew.
That was scary.
Finally.
Okay.
Yes, we're back in pretty code world. Okay, so now we have our user model. Why don't we do this? We can say after SQLize authenticate, we can say SQLize sync, and that will create tables that don't exist, and like update tables that. Well, yeah, it'll just create tables that don't exist.
Right, or update them like if there was a new setting.
Yeah, if we say force true, it'll update existing tables as well.
Oh,
but for now, let's just do this. And what we can do is say like const count equals await user dot
count. I like it.
And let's say you have count users.
I love it. Okay,
Let's
let's
see.
run this.
We're kind of going off the cuff here. I don't know if this is exactly how this is going to work, but let's find out.
Oh my God, that is exactly how it works. He's a madman, folks.
Whoa.
That's
So right now
exactly how it works.
Oh, okay, it works. It works. Great.
Yeah.
So that's good. Why don't we just create? Let's create a user now.
Okay, let's create a user.
So that
So our
we can
handler needs to take properties, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Or just like on the fly, we'll create one here.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we can just create one in place of this count. Like
Let's
what
do
we can
that.
do instead is just say like user create and give it a password. I mean, give it an email and a password, like just some placeholder stuff.
Let's do it.
And then so that we can start issuing authentication requests.
I love it.
So yeah, we'll create a user with email.
What are we gonna? What
Any-
email? I mean,
test@example.com. I like that.
oh, the worst .dev. There we go.
Okay. And then our password is not going to be a plain text password, but
No, we need to generate one, right?
Yeah, let's just do like we're going to use bcrypt to hash our password. And the way that we do that is there's two things that we need to do. Do you mind if I
No, steer, please. Take the wheel. Trevor, take the wheel.
Okay. So first thing we're going to do is, oh, I missed my spot there. I'm going to say, I'm going to import bcrypt from
Makes sense.
bcrypt.
I love how you're typing const bcrypt equals require, but still in your head you said import bcrypt
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. And you can take the ES modules out of the Node.js file, but you can't take the Node.js file out of the. I don't know where I'm going with that.
I get where you were going with it.
Okay, so we need to do two things. Well, first of all, our hash is going to be equal to bcrypt.hashSync.
That's right.
And it takes two arguments. One is our plain text password, and the other is a salt.
Salt, yeah.
And currently, we don't have a salt, so let's generate a salt from B. I spelt this wrong. There we go. Bcrypt salt.
And then are we supposed to pass in like some kind of unique key, right?
Gen salt sync. No, we just need to pass in the amount of salt rounds.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So let's give it 10 salt rounds. And
for those who are unaware, like me, what is a salt round? I've used this millions of times, and I don't know what that means.
I think we should Google this question.
Yeah, because I don't know actually what that means.
Salt is like a seasoning that you typically use when you're cooking, and it helps like accentuate some of the flavors in your dish. Yeah.
That's exactly. With salt round, they actually mean the cost factor. All right, let's take a look. What is a salt round? Did I lose you? Oh, no, you're still there. Okay.
I'm still here. Dom's disappointed in my joke making.
You're better than
We're supposed to be informative here. We're not supposed to be misinforming our viewers, man.
Yeah. Salt.
What am I thinking? The nerve.
Oh, there we go. Salt Bay. Okay. So salt round. Cost factor controls how much time is needed to calculate the hash. Kurt Bay. I can't.
New.
Okay, so the more time, the harder it is to break. It's a random value.
Interesting. Yeah, I always understood it as kind of like it's a mechanism used to obscure the original value.
Man, this should be the answer. A cost factor of 10 means that the calculation is done 2 to the 10th power times, which is about 1,000 times. The more rounds
Okay.
of calculation you need to get the final hash, the more CPU, GPU time necessary. No problem for calculating a single hash for a login, but it's a huge problem when you brute force millions of password combinations.
Got
Cool.
you. Cool.
All
So,
right.
I mean, in the Bcrypt docs, they in their example they use 10 salt rounds. So we can do the same there. Um, yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
I'm good with 10. I think 10 is plenty of rounds.
Cool. So now we have everything we need to hash our plain text password,
Yeah, we have a
set it
user.
in the user password column, and let's just say, yeah, let's change this to something representative of what we've just done. Hello.
And then I forget, it's like get email, right? Because you can have like
Uh,
virtual fields and stuff like that. Is that
yeah, I
correct?
think I think you should also be able to just say user.email.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay. I
If
could have
you want
swore
to
you
get
had to. Maybe that's bookshelf. But I could have thought because of like virtual fields and stuff, they wanted you to use like a get method.
Yeah, they actually also have get, but I think that for fields that are real columns,
Mm-hmm.
you can access them as properties on the object.
Nice.
But you can also say like get data value, and set data value respectively. And
Oh,
this
that's
this
right.
sets like arbitrary data that's not necessarily uh, doesn't persist as a column
Got
on
it.
the user model. So let's do
Okay.
this.
Yeah, let's go
We're
try
actually
this.
it's actually going to create. We've actually just created multiple users. What I'm going to do here is say sync force true,
To
and what that'll
rewrite it.
do, yeah, it'll give us a
Ugh,
fresh database. We'll have one. We should have one user by the end of this. And actually, to confirm that, what we can do is say uh, we'll go
count.
get the count as well. Await user count and throw that in there. Yeah, you go for it.
There.
Great.
All right.
So
Let's
we're
go check it out.
reloading.
Hey, there we go.
Perfect. So now that we have our user created, our user email is test at the worst dev or the worst.dev. Our password is password. Let's get rid of all this code. Maybe we can just comment it out for now.
Sure.
And the next thing that we do is authenticate our user. And so this is all going to be deleted eventually, but I figured we'll just comment it out for now, just in case,
Yeah.
to bring it back at any
So
point.
one thing that I want to touch on real quick. Oh, hey, VMPTK, Vamped. Thank you for the follow. Awesome. One thing I want to touch on, which I think we kind of glossed over really quick, was like it was extremely easy to get started with render. That was pretty darn easy to set up
Yeah,
a
it
database and
was.
connect. So yeah, that was really
The
cool.
the the important thing to remember if you're going to use render for your own project is, as Kurt's highlighting right there, the dialect options and setting SSL to true explicitly.
Yeah, but it was neat to just be able to copy like the hidden connection string. That was awesome. It didn't get exposed. It's just like always hidden for you unless you want to see it. And yeah, we just pasted that right into an environment variable and up and running. Cool. All right. Well, that's awesome. I just love when things are like that easy. You know, it's
Right.
makes
I
the
agree.
development experience so much more fun. All right.
It really does. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to set up this this auth route to accept. Well, we can do it in a couple different ways. One is like it could accept a a request body with like an email and password in plain text. That would be a pretty easy thing to parse and then like check against our database. And the other
Yeah.
option is accepting like an auth header, like a basic auth header or
Yeah.
something along those lines. Yeah, do you have a preference? I mean, I think either one would work for our use case here.
Yeah, I think let's go with the simplest, which is probably basic auth, right?
Okay.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Look at that.
Damn.
Yeah, thanks.
About time, man.
I know. What was the delay?
Been waiting for this.
Hang on, let me go check this off my list. I have to go make sure I got that. Finally got Dom to follow.
Yeah, that was a hard-earned follow.
Awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do some basic authentication. So we're just gonna send over like a simple password or something. What's the deal?
Yeah, so well let's first of all let's accept we're going to be using the event argument in our handler, and um, let's see what we I think it would be like event dot. Let's just print out in the body event dot headers dot authorization.
Okay. I like it. I have a quick note. One thing that I'm
Sure.
curious about. So we are using async and await,
Hmm.
um, but still modules aren't supported, correct? Async await is, but modules are not.
Modules are not, yeah.
Yeah.
Async
Okay.
and await are Node.js normal uh,
And
tools that we
why?
can use, but
Yeah. So why is this saying? Oh, because we're not using it anymore. We commented out. Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I'm all caught up.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right. So now that we have this set up, I'm gonna switch context back to our React app, and I'm gonna open that up in a browser just so I know what I'm looking at here. And right now we just have a list of stuff. This might get appear messy for a moment, but I'm just gonna make a form.
Okay. So you're in index.js, correct? Yeah. There we go.
I am, yeah. Maybe you can. I think you can hit the little pin button to follow.
Yeah, I thought I was following you. Let me. Oh, oh. All right. Sorry. That was weird. Okay. I thought I was following you.
All right. Anyway, we are now. So
There we go.
I'm just gonna make a simple login form, and it'll look something like this. I'm scrolling all over the place. Apologize. I'm going to use input from Chakra. How do I get this?
Uh,
I want it to magically auto import, but it doesn't seem to want to. That's
oh,
okay.
normally
Input,
it does. Yeah, I could have swore.
placeholder, email. Email. The input type is email, and the other one is going to be. I'm going to make this email, and the name is going to be email, and yeah, this is going to be
Yeah,
placeholder password. Type and name are also going to be password,
I like it.
and this form is going to have a button, which I'm going to import from Chakra momentarily. Type of submit,
Oops.
and we're just going to say login.
Cool.
And this form is going to have a on submit handler called handle submit, and we can define that right here. So function, copy and paste.
Oh,
Function
no.
handle submit. It's going to take an event argument. First thing we do is prevent default on this event.
We don't want no default.
No, we don't. And then we're going to create a basic auth string. And the way that you do that is it's essentially your event target email, your basic auth string looks like this. You have your email with a colon and then your password, event target password value. And then this is base 64 encoded.
Got it.
So B2A, I think, is the function that we want.
Something like that. BOA2 or something. What is it?
Encode a string. We have two functions available to us when we want to work with base 64 strings. We have A to B,
And
which
B to A, right?
Yep, which takes a base 64 string and encodes it as, or decodes it as a string. And we have B2A. So we're gonna have B2A of this. And that, for some reason, that copy and paste worked, which is very strange.
Yeah, that is weird.
And then the next thing I'm going to do is turn this function into an async function, because we're going to send this request to our new auth endpoint using fetch. So I can say const response equals await fetch, and we're going to just send it to .netlify/function/auth and pass it some extra options. So we're going to use method. Doesn't really matter what method we use, actually, so I can omit that. But we are going to specify some headers.
Yeah,
and
that's the authorization, right?
Yep.
Boom.
And our authorization header will look like this: the word basic, followed by a space, and then our basic auth string. And what we can do, tell me what you think about this, but just like plop that. No. That's so tragic. Oh, there we go.
We could just, but we want to wrap that, right?
Oh, no, right. We want to wrap this in B2A. My bad. Is this too messy, do you think?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're cool with that.
Oh, I'm
There's
cool with that.
We're gonna get a response back from there, and we can first of all check if response is okay. Then let's try to decode the or read the value that we return.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna.
Oh, that was weird. There we go. Okay.
And then
yeah, where are we gonna store it? Cookie?
Either we can store it in the cookie, we can store it in local storage. Local storage
is the easiest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then in here, let's
storage.
But for now, I'm just going to console log the token. Let's see what we get back. Because if you remember, the last thing that of course, we haven't.
Yeah.
So input and button. There we go. So that should give us a form that we can submit. That we can send a request to our new auth handler, and then our auth handler should just give us back what our authorization header is, so that we want to just confirm that the header's coming through, and then we can figure out how to deal with it from there.
I like it.
Okay, so in your app, then why don't you try filling out the form with your console open, and we're going to be paying attention to the console output.
Yep. Why did you open over there? That was weird. Oh, I think it opened for that window. There we go. Console is open. And let's go to... Oh, wait. I need to be here with the console open. Oh, Chrome autofill at its finest. So we used test at the worst.dev, and then we just did password. No,
now what we're hoping to see here is
a 500 internal server error.
That's not what we're hoping to see. Okay.
Incorrect function response body. Let's go take a look. That's V curious.
Oh, you know what?
Huh.
Hmm. So what this tells me that is maybe that the event.headers.authorization is maybe not the right accessor for this. Let's check out.
Would it be capitalized?
Mm, I thought it would be, but let me see. I'm just looking for netfi lambda request headers.
And so we'll still need a way for users to sign up as well, right? This is just like dealing with login.
Mm-hmm. Event should have headers. Very interesting. Yeah, so we should be able
To do what we're doing.
headers. Yeah, why don't you go back to the console and
Oh, that one worked. I changed it to a lowercase a and it worked.
oh,
So,
awesome. Okay, so now our basic auth header is coming through. That's good. And now on our netlify auth function, we're going to handle that thing. So
handle that.
a
So we can
package that I like
uncomment
to
this.
use.
Right?
Not quite yet. We're going to do something a little bit different.
Okay.
One thing that I'm going to do is in the terminal, in the other terminal window that we have, I'm going to
Okay.
yarn add a package called basic-auth.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this
of course,
this
yeah.
provides us like a really, really easy way, because on Node, we don't have access to A to B and B to A.
Yep.
The method to encode and decode base 64 strings on Node is a little bit more complicated. You got to use like array buffers, something along those lines. And then there's also some string parsing involved with using basic auth. So I'm just going to yarn add basic auth.
I'm all for it. It's added.
Okay.
I
Now,
will say that I have noticed improvements in the stream quality again as of late.
oh, that's
I haven't
great.
had I haven't had a lot of issues this week. I've probably just jinxed myself, but it's been great this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now what I'd like to try to do with this now is in our auth function, we're just going to require basic auth from basic auth.
So yeah, while you're
And
doing that, Dom asked if we're using the Skype NDI inputs, and so what he's referring to anyone who's not familiar is like for the streaming setup, we are using a Skype video call and feeding that into the stream, and that is how you see Trevor and myself.
hello. All right, so now we're going to take it to the next level. Let's try to...
but we have to pass the header, right? Event.headers.authorization, or it knows to get it from the event?
it knows to get it, and well, it should know to get it. Yeah, let's test this out. Let's see if this works.
Okay, all right. It's saved. Let's go run it because I'm gonna be wildly
Maybe,
impressed.
Yeah.
I really need to like quit 1Password. How do I do that from like, is this it? No. Ugh. I'll deal with that later. But anyway, okay. So we hit auth. Oh my goodness.
Is
How
it
did
coming
it
through?
do that? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have our name and our password in plain text. Uh, and so now we're going to go through the process of authenticating our user. So we can do this in two steps. First, we're going to look for a user that has the email that was provided. And then if one exists, we will check to see if the password hash saved in their row in our database matches the same or our plain text password hashed in the same way. But
Okay.
bcrypt gives us a method called compare, I think it is,
Yeah, I think
that
it's
allows us to do
compare
this.
hash or something, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, do you want to drive for this part, or do you mind if I carry on?
Oh no, carry on. Yeah, because I don't remember the function
So
of
first thing
being
we
able
do
to
is
see
we're
it.
going to find a user. So we're going to say await user.find one where email is
Oh yeah,
equal to
email's
name.
name.
And we can be a little bit more generous with this as well. We can say something like uh, op, what's it called? We want to be case insensitive. I think it's op
Ah,
like, yeah, or I like rather. I like. That's an insensitive like. So yeah, if you mouse over that I like, you'll see a little uh, tooltip pop up that says operator I like is case insensitive.
oh, very cool. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. So that'll find us a user with an email that matches without any judgment on casing the email provided. And then,
Judgment-free capitalization zone
yeah.
here.
And then if we don't have a user, we can right away, we can just return 400. We can say status code
Let
400.
me scroll down here. Let me follow you
Body
again. There we go.
is, no or incorrect user, incorrect email password.
Like it.
And
I'm confused though because we didn't check about
yeah,
the password yet. Okay,
so we're
got it.
actually gonna change the order of this. So rather than checking for no user, what we can do here is check if the user is found, then
Right.
compare passwords,
Got it. Got it.
um, and then if that doesn't work, this is like the last kind of like fallback.
I
Um,
see.
so yeah, let's check the passwords now. So um, we'll use bcrypt again, and we're going to use their compare operator. In and yeah, we can go bcrypt, or you can say um,
Oh, yeah.
so the bcrypt compare is it returns a promise. So we can do something like this. We can say um, pass as the first argument and user.password as the second argument. And then in here,
Cool.
we'll just say if passwords match, then we'll return object with status code 200 and body. For now, this will be a JWT.
Got it.
And then in all other circumstances, we return a 400 with,
Catch all.
actually, we'll make it a 401.
Yeah.
More appropriately status coded. So let's check this out.
Okay. I feel like we should update this message down here. Hang on one second. Because it's no longer just about database connections. This could be anything.
Right. There was an error.
Yeah. Cool. That just makes me feel a little better. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go test it. Pew. Log in. Pew. Cancel. And this will be a JWT.
No way. Okay. Okay. Let's try one more thing.
First try.
Why don't you mess up the password so that we can test
Ooh,
the error state?
I like it. Incorrect email password combination.
Beautiful.
And it's red. Error, danger, Will Robinson, danger.
All right. So I think the last thing that we can do here is fulfill our success message and actually respond with a JWT.
Fulfill our promise. I like it.
Yeah. All right. So to do that,
okay.
we're going to use the JSON Web Token.
Package. I remember
package.
this one too.
Yes. So in my terminal, I'm going to go yarn add JSON Web Token. And we're going to need a secret key to do this, and I think that this will be another thing that we'll put in our Netlify environment variable. Yeah. So one site that I like to use for secret key generation is, I'm going to post it in chat. It's just randomkeygen.com. So you can really pick from any of these. Like they're as you scroll down, they get there's like escalating varieties of obscurity.
Cool.
But you can just pick any one of those, throw it in an environment variable, and then we'll restart our development server once you're ready. And by the way, Kurt, I'm just wondering how are we doing on time? What's the time situation?
That's a good question. Let me check. I mean, I am good, I believe, until 5 or even 6. I think we got plenty of time, but I'm verifying. Okay. Thanks for checking. That was like
of course.
I forgot about that. I was having so much fun. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Actually, so
let's carry on. Let's try to get. I think maybe a good place to get to would be like sending JWTs and storing them in local storage.
Yep, I agree. I think that would be perfect. And so this is going to be our secret. What is this for again?
We call it like JWT secret.
That's right, JWT secret. Okay, and you know what's funny? So remember how I was thinking of you needed a secret for the salt? I was confusing that with JWTs.
Right. I mean, you could also obscure the salt rounds.
Yes, and people do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see why that would matter as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you're still, even though you know how many rounds, the chances of you getting the same result are still
exactly
supposed to be like really, really rare, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe that's how it works. All right.
All right. So I'm going to jump back to the first terminal, shut her down, and reboot.
Do you remember did you ever know of the show Reboot? It was like a 3D animated show. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Reboot.
So we are live. We'll do it live.
Okay. So now within this case here, if passwords match, before we send back a JWT, we have to obviously create one. So we'll say token equals JWT dot sign, and I have to go up before I get ahead of myself. I'm gonna require JWT from JSON Web Token, and down here we'll just say sign. And sign, if you mouse over it, it takes up to 3 parameters, but we're just only going to need 2 for now. An object, which is like the payload of our
what
token.
Will be the body of the token, essentially.
And what we could do is just say user, but that's a little unsafe because that would mean we're sending the user password as well. So what we'll do is just be really explicit about this. We'll say our JWT will have an email, which is the user.email, and maybe we might need like an ID, so user.id. And Yes.
And then in the future, like a good place to put would be like their scopes, right? For like
Yeah.
authorization, you would add
Exactly.
scopes as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
it's all coming back
and
to
then
me
the
now.
second argument to sign is our token secret. So process.env.jwt secret,
Boom.
just like that. And we can pass this token as the body. Oh, token.
Stupid copy paste.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go test this, and then once we confirm it works, we add it to local storage, right?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, I like it. Oh, well, that's probably old. There we go. This is using autocomplete. Yes, test at the worst dev. So, boom, we get a 200. Oh, look at that. And we
And
are
it
in
is
fact
a
getting back a JWT.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
so let's go back to VS Code and here to index. And so now the question is, what are we going to do with this token? Store it in local storage?
Yeah, let's do it.
So that's like local storage dot set item. And then we want this to be unique. And so we'll call this journey and then token, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that work for you?
Sounds great.
And then token. Okay.
Sweet.
So now let's go test this.
Okay.
So we're here, we log in, we get auth. Oh, well, that's weird. We're seeing a preview of the response. Yes, that's fine. But now if I go to application, local storage. Oh, I wonder what else is in my local storage.
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Oh, nothing, it looks like. Cool. Oh, GraphQL playground. Token. So here it is, journey token.
Beautiful.
And then here's my token. Yeah. There's some GraphQL playground stuff in there. Yeah, so we got
cool.
it.
So we've got it set. We could end here. The other thing we could do is just like show or hide that login form based on
Yes.
the logged in state. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, I like that. So let's jump back real quick, and then we can, we'll just come up here. We'll do it here for now, right? And so then, or should we just base it? Yeah, that's fine. True. And then we come here, and around our form, we can say not is logged in. We'll do this, and for now we'll do null, but like we could also add a log out button there in the future, right? Because you gotta be able to log out if you logged in. But for now, for right now, oh yeah, it would help if I define that. Okay, cool. So now we jump back, and are we not logged in? Oh, because it didn't.
Right now, yeah. Right now, is logged in is not respecting the current token.
Right. And we can't log out, so we're getting a 401 error. Let's look in the terminal, because when I try to log in again.
Well, because you're logging in with your autofilled.
Oh, right. That's right. Ay.
But there's one way that we could go about this is using like Apollo client-side queries.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that. Definitely do that.
I think
we should do that actually.
Yeah, if we've got till 5, why don't we just spend the next 20 minutes putting together a client-side resolver that reads from the token in local storage and then gives us a Boolean if we're logged in or not.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, I'll drive for a second here.
Yeah.
One thing that we're going to want to do is in our Apollo client instance, this is where we can set up client-side resolvers. So I can just go in here and say resolvers, and
Here we go.
create a map of resolvers here, starting on the query level. We'll say is logged in, and this will look something like this. Like, well, I guess we could just return
Get item, local storage dot get item.
Storage, get item, journey
Token. Cool. But we also need to be able to set that with a mutation, right?
Yes. We can actually set it. We can just set it using like cache dot write data.
Yes.
Like just set it directly to the cache without having to write a specific mutation.
Okay.
So the way that that'll look is in here. Within our submit handler, rather than setting is logged into true, what we can do is just say, well, first of all, we're going to need
cache.
Yeah. All right. A couple things here. One thing I'm noticing is we already have one use query hook in here, and what I like to do usually is like split apart these concerns. So really, we should only be listing our job listings once we're logged in.
Yeah.
So we can sort of separate this out in this sort of way. What I'm going to do, we can separate this into multiple files at some point, but just for the purposes of getting this example up and running, I'm going to create a new function called like job listings.
Love it.
And it's going to return our job listings, just like this. We can do it within React fragment.
It did it again.
There we go. I think I figured out how to make this work. I can just paste and then undo, and it'll put it back.
That's so
and
wild.
The other thing we need is this GraphQL
query. Yeah. And we also have to move some of the messaging as well, like we're calling is loading or error. Actually, that would stay because that would go.
You're definitely right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now our state is like if is not logged in, show the form. Otherwise, show nothing. The other way that we could word this is like if we're logged in, show job listings.
Yeah.
And otherwise, show a login form.
I like it.
All right. And while we're at it, what do you think about making the login form its own component as well?
Sure,
just to make this nice and organized. So we'll say function login form, and we're going to return our form component.
Yeah, because then that'll get rid of our event handler and just cleans everything up nice.
Yeah. And for some reason that paste worked again. There's no rhyme or reason to this.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah. Okay, and now I'll take our event handler.
Yeah. Okay.
Save that, and everything is looking pretty good here.
Pretty good. We got one more thing to do.
Yeah, we need to now set the token in our Apollo client in our Apollo client cache, and we need is logged in to be representative of the actual query. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do that first part.
Yep.
What we can do here is say const client equals use Apollo client, and that's from at Apollo client. Use Apollo client.
Well, that's very
Actually,
convenient.
I'm just thinking here. Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to go about it. The other thing that comes to mind is that you can destructure a client from the response of use query.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to keep the login form as part of the index, we could get the logged in state and the client at the same time. But I don't know if that's like an optimization that's really worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the hook exists. I like using the hook to just pull the client out because that's really all we need for that
It
part.
is all we need. You're right. All right, let's just do this. We'll say, and now when we get a response that is successful, we can say client dot write data. Maybe not client cache. Ooh, maybe
So
we
let
need
me get
to
some
doc.
highlighting. Apollo client, cache, write. There's write query, and write fragment.
Let's do write.
Right. And so then these are the write options, which is an object, and then data.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then what goes here?
I
This
think we
would
just
be,
say is logged in, right?
yeah, is logged in, and that's token.
We would just be saying, oh yeah, we would be passing token. You're right.
No, we would say true. Is logged in is true.
Yeah, what we want it to be is a Boolean. So let's do that true. Before we move forward, let's reflect that in the client side resolver that we created.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm over to Gatsby. Oh yeah, there we go. We're here.
So then we're going to return bang bang.
Sure.
Right.
The other way that I like another convention that I like to use to return a Boolean is just casting the value
To a
as a Boolean
Boolean.
this way.
Yeah,
But
I'm fine
I'm
with
happy
either
to
one.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Either one. Both accomplish the same goal.
Yeah. Maybe we could just organize this a little bit like this. So we can say like this is the token and we're returning the token cast as a Boolean.
I like it. It's very clean. Mine is very ambiguous unless you know what that does. The double hash bang
Mm.
or double bang. Yeah.
If you hit save, we'll get the prettier
Oh,
semicolon
oops.
at the end there.
There we go.
I hope. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're back in the index file and we're setting is logged into true. And now we can create a query for it. And you're already on the case. Love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Data loading error.
We're using a use query hook, and Kurt's going to write a GraphQL query in here that just calls the client-side resolver that we created a few moments ago.
Yep, and so I should just be able to do. Oh, do I have to write query, right? Boop.
You don't have to necessarily.
Oh, you don't have to, right? I didn't think so.
No, it's a query by default. If you write a mutation, you do have to write the mutation keyword.
And so then this is our query, right? We're just going to do that.
And then the big the important part to remember there is just we need to add the client directive.
That's right. There we go.
Okay.
So now what this does, this directive just says, hey, we're looking for this locally. Whoa.
Hmm.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea, dude. Hey, chat, quick show of hands. Who here has, out of people who have used Apollo client before, who has used client-side queries like this? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, me as well, actually. Okay, so while we are waiting on that to see if that comes through, so here we've got title. So now let's say const is logged in is going to be equal to data, right? That would just be right off
Hmm.
of data.
And there's one little nuance here, is that
Yeah.
in Apollo Client 3, the default value of data is undefined. So to account for that, we actually want to express
Oh,
this
right.
a little bit differently. We want to say is logged in equals data and data is logged in, like that.
Question, because we're
Hmm.
using Gatsby, which is like using Babel, which has like the latest stuff, can't we
Oh.
now just do this?
Let's try
Is
it.
that
I
how
don't
that
know.
works?
I'm not sure if Babel does that or gives us what is that
Optional
particular operator
chaining.
called? I forget,
It's
but I'm
it's called
optional
optional
chaining. I'm not sure if
chaining.
it gives us optional chaining, but
I
let's
think
find
it
out.
does. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, because otherwise it'll just be broken if I go to. I
Yeah.
mean, it parsed. It's running.
That's
Let's
amazing, man.
yeah. Let's go to
It's truly a dream.
yeah. So I mean, it seems to be working,
All right.
and we can confirm
Damn.
this by removing the token.
Yep.
Oops, I think I just deleted everything. That's cool. All right, and then yeah. So now we go. Oh wait, here I just
You can just refresh
and look at that. So we got the
and we
login
get a
form.
login form. Now, this is the interesting part. When we log in, does it refresh immediately?
Yeah. Ah, well, first I have to get us logged in,
Yeah, you
which
gotta
I'm
pass
struggling with.
the first test. Okay.
Uh-oh. It got
So,
stored, but then in the cache, in memory cache, I think our write operation failed.
ah,
Oh, it has to be written as in the
interesting.
GQL tag, so it's not
Let's see.
expecting like an object.
I'm just gonna pop open the Apollo docs. Maybe we can
Yes,
do this,
please.
on stream. Let's take a look at
Yeah,
uh
link the docs in the chat.
okay, we'll do. What I'm looking at here is this um, interacting with cached data.
Yeah, I think what we want is write
Actually,
query.
yeah, except I also want to look specifically for local state management. Okay, I think this is the article that we want. Um, so updating local state requires us to do a direct write.
I know how to do this in version 3, which is what we're using, so that's good.
Hmm.
Well, here they're using write query.
Yeah, you're right. All
I
right,
think we can do
let's
this.
just do that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this because and then we'll just change it like on the fly. So here I'm just gonna go. We're gonna write query. So the thing is, right now I have the query embedded here.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna take this out,
Sounds good.
and we will put it up here. Uh, we'll call this logged in query. That's good, right?
Looks great.
Okay, cool. So that's done. Now, um, logged in query, and then we're setting is logged in. Oh, actually, the data would probably just be because is logged in. We're not doing an object, right? Like our property is just true false.
Hmm. I think that's fine. Yeah,
Oh
you can
no,
just pass
no, you're
true.
right. It is data.visibility filter.
Yeah,
No, yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. Yeah,
it's
maybe
all
a little
good.
confusing there. Oh, here we go. So yeah, data is logged in, and then this is going to be equal to true. Try.
Beautiful.
Okay, so now this goes away. All right, so let's go try this again, right?
And then the other thing that we want to do is just
Ooh.
replace the missing query in
Thanks.
here.
Good
I'll just
catch.
go logged in query. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, cool. Let's go try this.
Okay.
Okay, so we're there. We're going to take the token and delete it. We're logged out. Test. Password. Oh, look at that.
And
Blue.
okay, cool. We logged in. I think the last thing that we can do to really, really round this out is just add a log out button. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. You got to be able to log out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did do it. Awesome. And thanks for joining us, Max. Yeah.
We did it.
We did it. Heck yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, let's do that. And so now, I guess in job listings, do we want that, or do we want it like maybe in the header, or like right above or above the listings? Where should we put it?
Yeah, I'll defer that decision to you. What do you think?
I think for now, just because we have is logged in here, and I don't want to like pass it to a props on jobs listing. I think that we'll do we'll have it here. So we'll make this a fragment, and then we'll close that up like that. Yeah, and then we'll put it like right there above it. So
sounds
I
good.
can say a. Oh well, I'm gonna make it a button.
Sure.
Right?
You can make it a shocker button even.
Oh yeah, we can make it a shocker button. Just by doing that.
Yeah.
So let's see. I don't need to put type button then, I don't think. And then does it work like a button where it has a closing, and then I put text in between it? Cool. All right, log out, and then it gets on click handler, I imagine, just like all React components.
You got it.
So now we're going to write another query here. So we need the client here. Or is it yeah.
Well, it would be pretty simple actually. It requires two parts. So one is we can destructure the client, but in order to make sure that we don't want to just set is logged in to false.
No, we
also want to delete the token. Exactly. So we'll do those two things, and we should be all good.
Yeah, and then shouldn't we also like refresh the page or something to make sure that they're? Oh no, because once we update the property.
Once we update is logged in, it should refresh. Yeah.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is local storage delete item. Right? Isn't that what it is?
I think it's remove item.
Remove item. Thank you. And that's journey token. And then we're gonna say client.cache.write query.
I think we can actually just say client.write query in this case.
Oh. .write query. Yeah. And then that
and it's going to take two options. Yeah, query and data.
And it's logged in, right?
Looks good.
Looks good. Let's go test it. So we're here. So we got our log out button. I mean, we'll deal with spacing and like how things look later. That's neither here nor there. So just to be sure, we refresh, we have a token, we come over here, we log out, we have no token, and we are redirected back to login. That,
oh my God,
gentlemen, is success. That's what success looks like.
Nice. We like it. Dude, this is so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, what font is this? That is not an unimportant question. Sorry, real quick, I just want to answer this. You mean the font for like the login button and the titles? What font did we use? Just this, whatever the system has, right?
Yeah, it's your editor
font. Got you. I should have known.
Oh, that is a very important question, Max.
Yeah, and I need to talk about. I have it set up on my my personal stream, I can do uses. We should add like a Trevor uses and a Kurt uses to link
That'd be
that.
great.
But I'm just gonna send you this URL, which has everything that I use. So it has the theme, the font. It's Mona Lisa, by the way. But yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Beautiful.
I have a uses on my stream, but we need to set them up for the Apollo stream. Yeah, so
Hmm.
that will take you to what I use. And then real quick, I guess like I might as well just jump over to it. Oh, not found. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so if we come down here to VS Code Setup, I am using the material icon theme, which gives me the icons next to the folder names. For syntax highlighting, it's the Mirage theme in the Dainty extension, the themes pack. Mona Lisa, and then the terminal is the spaceship theme from ZSH.
Dope.
Yeah, and this is my bloggy blog, so I write stuff here sometimes. Come check it out. It's fun. Every time you load the page, you get a new background. Yay.
Ooh,
Fancy schmancy, right?
fancy.
Yeah. Cool. But I want to focus on this. I think this is a good place to wrap up. I think we did an excellent job.
This is a
Um,
great place.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, I was just saying, like, as if we take our stream title as any indication,
we nailed
I
it.
think we accomplished it. We added
Yeah,
auth and we set up storage.
we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. And just to recap, yeah, blogging is good, Max. It's yeah, everyone should be blogging. And I like the idea of getting around. Like if you look at half my blog posts, they might seem unfinished. I've like moved away from forcing myself to have some beautiful finished complete thing, and I'm just putting stuff out there. And I find that I make updates to it regularly once it's out there. And I'm actually writing way more in that style than when I was trying to do like these big, polished, completed blog posts. So it could be worth trying, just like little, little like even notes or whatever. Just put it out on the web, and you'll
Mhm.
start to uh, um, work on it more and more. But yeah, I think now that we have um, 200 word post daily, that's really cool because that, yeah, exactly, to work on the consistency, that's a little, like a tweet basically. And yeah,
Mhm.
it's a good habit to get into. So I like it. I've been trying it. It's been working for me. And actually, if you go to my blog, if we look at a post, so like one has this like little plant because this post is still growing and likely to be updated. So I don't know if you
Oh,
can
I
see
like
that.
that.
That's
That's a
kind of
really
small.
really nice convention.
Yeah, so it has that, and then like if we go to one that is completed, so like this one, I don't plan to change. It has a bloomed flower, and it says this post is fully bloomed and is unlikely to change.
Ah, that's really really cool, man.
Yeah, I like it, and that's my way of like. So now I can just release a half-formed thought, but people know like, oh hey, this is like still growing and could possibly change in the future. So I like it. That's
Did
nice.
you where did you hear that like find that convention from somewhere else, or is that something you came up with?
So I didn't fully come up with it. So as far as like representing it and giving it like actual like I don't know like visual form, that's on me. But no, Joel Hooks wrote um, about digital gardens
That's kind
and
of like what you and Chris and I were talking about
this is
getting boba
exactly
that
it.
time.
Yeah, and see, so look, so this is what really inspired me is this blog post, and that's what inspired me to try and write, and like just push things out and not be so concerned about that. But then I was like, well, I think it would be good for people to know whether or not I think something is a complete thought, so they know whether or not they should be coming back to it or what.
Hmm.
But one thing I did get rid of was dates. Like I like this idea, like oh, it's still growing or it's finished, but
Yeah,
like there's no
interesting.
dates. Yeah, there's no dates on my blog. I removed them because some things that maybe I wrote 3 years ago would still be super relevant today, and some things I write 2 weeks ago might not be relevant today. So I feel like
Hmm.
dates themselves are kind of irrelevant. And then this is my last favorite little thing. Sorry, this kind of turned into like a showing off my blog, but I've started
Please.
taking the quick tips from my streams, like little quick videos, and they've got their own space on my blog. So like you
Nice,
can
dude.
create, creating a logo, in Photoshop, deleting code, talking about that. Trigger Netlify builds and tweets when uploading videos to YouTube. So that's how this works. When I add a video to my quick tips playlist, I use Zapier to kick off the Gatsby build and tweet it out.
Dude, you're a wizard.
I love Zapier.
You're the Zapier master.
The Zapier wizard. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm definitely a power user. And yeah, automate all the things. And I am the worst dev ever. The worst. I'm also like the laziest dev. So that's why I like Zapier, because then I don't have to do it myself.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be doing actually some streams on Zapier in a while. Yeah.
Be sure to tune in, guys.
Yeah, be sure to tune in. Yeah, and yeah, lazy devs, I wouldn't say like are the best. I feel like all devs have their place, but I would prefer to use someone else's code as opposed to write my own at this point. And I feel like that it's very valuable and valid to have times when you feel like you want to write the code, you know, because like that's a learning and growing experience. But yeah, for most things, I like to find things that are already created. I should change it to the lazy dev. It's too late. I already bought the domain. I'm trapped now.
Yeah, you already printed the stickers, man. That's like the nail in the coffin.
Right. Yeah, it's over now. I did print the stickers. They're really cool. Let's see. Can you see? Yeah, it's probably not in focus, but they say the worst dev on them, and they're all reflecty.
Metallic.
Yeah, it's cool. But like,
so nice.
It is nice. And I made yikes ones too, so I'm really excited about these. They say yikes.
That's sweet.
Yeah, they're just sitting here, and I can't wait to give them to people, but I can't until coronavirus isn't a problem anymore. So
it's tragic.
Yeah, it's tragic. Stuck. They're just burning a hole in my desk. And then I also have these ones, which I love, which I haven't really got to share with anyone. And they say carbs, caffeine, and computers.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's still because my camera's like set to manual focus, so you can't really see from there. But yeah. And I just want to send them to everyone, and I can't. It's sad.
Well, I for one, am looking forward to the day where I get to slap those on my laptop after all this stuff is blown over.
Oh yeah, you'll be one of the first to get them. I've got a list.
Are you checking it twice?
Oh yeah, checking it twice. That's it. So y'all better be good, because I'll find out. I'm gonna find out. I will, Dom. I'll send you those stickers. I'll add you to the list. And yeah, as soon as you can, I'll be slapping them around Philly. Nice. Yes. All right. But I think that's it. I guess real quick, we should maybe talk about upcoming streams. So next week is action packed. We've got Orbit Monday morning. That's where we talk about thank you. We talk about what's going on in the GraphQL world, the latest news, so to speak. We got Launchpad on Thursday again, which will be the next part in this series. And then also, I want to say on Wednesday, I got to check the old calendar. Let me see here. What day is that? Yeah, so Wednesday the 15th, Natter Dabbitt's going to be joining us, and we're going to take a look at spinning up serverless GraphQL APIs in Amplify. So much like we did for Netlify for this, we'll see what that would be. Natter Papa. We'll see what that will look like in Amplify. So that'll be cool. Yeah, and then even the week after that, Auth is going to be on. So we got a lot in the works and more people coming on, and we're going to continue to be doing these episodes. So yeah.
Awesome. We have lots to look forward to, guys. You're not going to want to miss any of it. And if you haven't already, drop us a follow on Twitch, and you'll be notified when we do go live. So you don't have to remember any of these dates.
Yeah. And I'm going to be tweeting out the Google Calendar, and you can subscribe, and then you'll just get notifications. And big surprise, I'm using Zapier now to work on setting up auto tweets, so it'll tweet out 2 days before, 1 day before, and a couple hours before each episode. Booyah.
Zapier King at work again.
Zapier King, which is why I want to talk to you, Dom, about the Cloudinary image URLs, because I want to hook that up in Zapier for those tweets. So, all right, later, dude. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Oh, yeah, awesome, cool. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining us, and that's a wrap, right?
That is. Yeah. Catch you guys next time. Thanks for coming.
Adios.